What's good, guys? It's Michael back here with another video. This is going to be video 2 on the YouTube channel. And so in today's video, I wanted to kind of discuss some thoughts that I've been having. But the main topic of this video is going to be dealing with the many ways of getting rich if you're in your early 20s. I say that because I'm making this video because I'm in my early 20s. I'm 22 right now. And I did not take the typical path that people would normally take. I went to school, but I dropped out. I did freelancing. I stopped that. Then I tried running an agency, and I didn't do that. And now I'm apprenticing. How did that happen? Well, over the course of the past 2 to 3 years, it was a lot of ups and downs. Okay, so if we were to think about it like this, like it's not something that's linear, where you go in a straight line like that. It's more of like it's like that. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Now this pen's dying, but it's just there's a bunch of oscillations. Okay. And you got your highs, right? And then you got your lows. And especially if you're running an agency or freelancing, you're going to have feast and famine cycles. That's the same thing with entrepreneurship. It's not for the faint heart. You're going to have days, you're going to have nights, you're going to have sometimes weeks, even months, where you're going to ask yourself, was this even worth it? Well, I don't know. I don't really know. But I'm making this video here to kind of share my lessons from trying freelancing and entrepreneurship for about 2 years now. And eventually getting back into a job. So I'm not the person to tell you how to make 10K a month, okay? I'm still trying to figure that out. I know that there's ways to make 10K a month, and it works for some people that I've known, but just not for me. And it's really important to know what way you want to pursue to make 10K a month, especially in this online ecosphere. There's just so much shiny object syndrome and so much things people don't really understand. So without further ado, let's dive into the topic of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and read off the notions here, but there are many paths to becoming rich, all of which seemingly lie within our grasp, but ever so slightly out of our touch. How does one become rich, and what does it mean to be wealthy? I mean, being in your early 20s, it seems like everyone is getting rich around you, from drop shipping to Amazon FBA to crypto, affiliate marketing, agencies, course creation, contractor arbitrage. If you know Ivan Gadzi, says all that stuff all the time. The list of ways to become absurdly rich goes on and on. So how does one become rich? Do you become rich by following one of these methods? Well, the answer is you actually don't. You don't follow these methods. You become rich by solving problems, and these problems are solved through these methods, these models, these business models. You see, a problem solver will always be in demand. It isn't drop shipping that you do. It's defining a target audience who has a root problem that can be solved through the emotional association of your product's branding to the customer. So if I have a brand that I'm building, like for men's watches, I can't just find the cheapest watch provider in China and start drop shipping through Shopify, Amazon, TikTok Shop. It's not going to work. I'm going to have to define a target audience. I'm going to have to build a brand around my watches that allows them to solve the problem emotionally, because people, when they make purchases, they make emotional purchases. No one logically makes a purchase. What they do is they buy the purchase and then logically justify the purchase. So it isn't drop shipping that you do, it's everything else that I mentioned, solving the problem that a watch can provide your target audience. And the more you can do that, the successful you'll be at drop shipping. It isn't affiliate marketing that you do. It's about building a relatable and trustworthy voice that cuts the noise and serves your viewership curated products or services that you believe can solve the problem. If I was an affiliate for, let's say fitness, and I recommended AG1 Greens, I've used AG1 Greens for the past 12 months. It's completely changed my life. I'm going to recommend it to my viewership because it's changed my life, and I know they can change theirs. And as an authority and a trustworthy voice in the place, I'm going to cut the noise, and I'm going to say, hey, check this out, and I'm going to get you a little deal here. Use my link. It's going to help you out a lot. And the deal should serve to benefit them more than it does you. Sure, you'll have some kickback, but that beats the whole purpose of going in affiliate marketing. You don't do affiliate marketing. You are the voice that cuts the noise and curates products and services that can solve your viewership's problems at scale. Really good. Really damn good, I should say. And lastly, it isn't a marketing agency that you do. I ran a marketing agency before. I didn't realize this, but it's about running a value-based service business that solves the problem of client acquisition for local businesses. So a lot of art agencies, they'll say, I do Google ads, I do Facebook ads, I do Yelp, I do YouTube ads. It doesn't it doesn't matter what type of ads you do. What matters is the methods that you do create the solution to the problem of client acquisition for that business. And through that business model, you help these businesses get customers. And when customers' problems are being solved at the consumer level, that is when value is created. So all of these different models aside, it isn't X, Y, Z. I don't do X, I don't do Y, I don't do Z. I solve problems, and I solve problems through the model of the business. So with that being said, let's talk about why these models work so well and why it's so popular and what you can do, what I can do, someone who's probably young, and even if you're not young, someone who's looking to pursue these models and try and give the freedom that entrepreneurship gives. And the best business model here is the one that solves value at scale. And so what that means is at scale is you have a model that as you solve more problems, you make more money, and as you make more money, you reinvest to scale the model up higher, solve more problems, help more people, and make more money. There's a trend here. Problems, solving, money. Okay? It's not get rich quick, it's problem solving money. Now you can solve problems quickly, and you can probably get rich quickly, but the problem solving is what blocks a lot of people. There's a skill gap between trying to solve someone's problem and trying to solve someone's problem really damn good. And so that gap separates the good entrepreneurs from the great entrepreneurs. But more on this level, the entrepreneurs that try to be in business, and then the ones that actually make it 1 to 2 years later. And this is just my lessons I've learned that 1 to 2 years of doing this, I've realized this, that I just don't have the base level skills, okay? So this brings us to the next topic, which is skills. How do you build skills to eventually pursue one of these value-based models and make a hell of a lot of money doing this through entrepreneurship? And so you can gain skills through a couple ways. You can gain skills through actually doing the thing you say you're going to do under an apprenticeship. And so, for example, that's one of the positions I find myself in. I work in a media marketing apprenticeship, and I help solve the problem of client acquisition for local businesses. And so once you take that and you understand it to the core root, right, you understand the fundamentals, which, by the way, the fundamentals of marketing is persuasion. It's human behavior. So funny enough, from this apprenticeship, I didn't learn all the ins and outs of Facebook ads and Google ads and SEO and web design. I did learn that stuff. But what I most importantly learned was the power of understanding human motivation, psychology, and persuasion. And so that stuff is the core level fundamentals that you want to take and implement into your mindset. That's going to be your mental model that you keep with. And as you progress through whatever it is, your apprenticeship, your entry-level job, or your job position, you gain these skills and they stack like Lego blocks to eventually make something that you can do and analyze in the world. Given that you have a level of awareness, you can identify a problem, create a business around it, and then solve that at scale and make money. Now, easier said than done to learn skill sets. Skill sets are hard. Like, let's take some popular skill sets. Coding, right? There's tons and tons of coding tutorials, but there's very, very few people who actually stick there with the coding tutorials and stick long enough to develop competency to get hired or to develop an app, to make some kind of program or software that solves value at scale, automated through code. Code is a high leverage activity. If you don't know what leverage is, read Naval, the Almanac of Naval Ravikant for leverage. I'm not going to explain it here, it's going to be too long. But basically, code is a really sought after high value skill. How do you go about learning code? Well, you need to know how to work deeply and work on projects. So deep work, projects, skills. To develop skills, you need to have a place to find skills. You learn skills by reading books or working on apprenticeships. You can also pursue the traditional college route, but most college education and courses are teaching you skills that are a little bit outdated. And depending on the field you go into, it's not necessary to have a degree. Like, let's say you're going to be a doctor. I probably wouldn't want to go to a doctor who's self-taught. You need a degree for that. There's certain certifications and levels and programs that you actually have to have a license to be a doctor. You cannot get away without going to college to be a doctor. But like, let's say you're going to go into business. Let's say you're going to go into entrepreneurship. You want to run a business. You want to make lots of money in a short amount of time frame. You don't need a degree for that. What you can do is just simply go to a guy that you look up to that is teaching some skill sets that you want to learn that would help you build your own thing. And preferably in an area or niche that you want to learn from. You go there, you hit them up, you hustle, you get that position, and then you work your ass off every single day. And so that's the first step. And I think really is the first step should be for everyone is to not start your business right away. If you want to get skills, right, you're thinking long term, you're thinking in 5, 10, 15, 20-year blocks. Now it's hard to do, all right? I mean, the S&P 500 historically gives returns of 10% over 10 years, but not many people actually stick to one stock and invest for 10 years. If you're like me, you want to make money quick, and right now you don't have a huge amount of savings to be sitting there just chilling and then reinvesting into the S&P 500. If you are, that's cool, but it's going to take a while to get there. And businesses are known for asymmetrical leverage, right? Asymmetrical returns. You can start a business, and given that you have a proven model and good product market fit, you can scale and make money quickly. But this is completely dependent on the opportunity that you look at, so your opportunity vehicle, the luck and the timing of entering the market, but most importantly, your skill sets. Even if you have luck and you identify the opportunity of leverage, you need to have skill sets, okay? The only way you can avoid this is if you find someone smart and you find a bunch of these guys and you bring them together and you lead them. But then you need the skill set of leading. You need the skill set of leading project management, vision, goals, everything that a good founder or CEO of a startup would know, okay? And that you don't pick that up naturally. I'm sorry, you don't. If you do, cool. But this is applicable for most people. For myself, I wasn't naturally born a leader. I didn't come out of the womb saying, we need to get these Q1, 2 girls, and we're going to manage this, and we're going to have these tasks over here, and then I'm going to go ahead and pitch some investors over here, and make some content here, write this over here. I didn't know any of that stuff, okay? That's learned skills. Skills you have to learn. Now, attributes, like character attributes, can help. Like, let's say you have good determination, you have good tenacity, you refuse to give up. Maybe you're hard-headed, not in the bad way, but in the good way. When you get negative feedback, it just makes you want to improve. When you take that negative feedback, you don't say, oh, wow, that's horrible. You say, well, instead, oh, well, let me look at it and see why it's negative and see if that maybe I can improve on my end, or maybe the systems that I'm following can be improved, okay? And so this is all the stuff I learned just the past 2 to 3 years of self-education. In the past, most recently, the past year, working in this apprenticeship, is learning the skills of project management, managing client expectations, delivering results, and attracting attention through inbound content systems like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. That's where the attention is. And so Gary Vee talks about the concept of day trading attention. That's great. Looking into that a little more. But like, notice how I have some stuff going on, right? It's not just the work that I'm associated with, but the work actually correlates to the skill sets that I'm trying to build, and it helps me get ready for the thing I'm going to build in the future. And even if I don't build it right now, I'm still making pretty good money by working in this apprenticeship anyways. And I get to do this, okay? So you get to focus on what you want to do. You're working in a career path that supports the vision that you want to get to, and you're building skill sets step by step that allows you to position yourself and identify leverage and market opportunity for you to go strike in, right? And it's about saving money and getting ready for that pivot, right? You don't have to go and set your ass on fire and go ask some investors to give you $100,000. You take out a $100,000 loan, and basically, if you don't make that money back up, then you're screwed, okay? That's not how you do it. If you're in your early 20s like myself, the big two things are to just not get in prison, don't do anything illegal, and preferably probably stay away from drugs, right? That's all you got to do. And find yourself in a good place to learn skill sets, develop connections, and then you can pursue these models, being fully equipped and waiting for the right market time and fit to go take a risk. And so that's another concept here, is having the concept of skin in the game, okay? So you got to have some skin in the game if you want to get some outsized returns. You can go to college, you can get a regular degree, you can make your whatever 5% year over year raise, but know that no job in the market will always be safe. What is safe is someone who's solving problems consistently and providing value to the market. That's a future-proof skill set. And if your skill stack solves problems consistently for a niche, then you're good. So